Welcome to the DriveContact podcast. Today we're telling the story of an American icon. His name is synonymous with speed, horsepower, and some of the most legendary cars ever built. We're talking about Carroll Shelby, the man who went from a Texas chicken farmer to a racing legend and one of the most influential automotive designers in history. Carroll Shelby was born in Leesburg, Texas in 1923, and from a young age he was fascinated with speed. He served as a flight instructor and test pilot in World War II, but his true passion was always racing. He first hit the amateur racing circuit in January 1952 in a borrowed Ford hot rod and immediately found success. His raw talent earned him an invitation to drive for the factory teams of major marques like Aston Martin and Maserati. In 1956, he was named Sports Illustrated's Driver of the Year, cementing his status as one of America's premier racers. His crowning achievement behind the wheel came in 1959 at the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans. Teaming up with co-driver Roy Salvadori, Shelby piloted an Aston Martin DBR1 to a historic victory, becoming only the second American to ever win the legendary endurance race. However, his racing career was cut short by a debilitating heart condition. Doctors warned him that his high-stress, high-G-force lifestyle was unsustainable. He drove his final race in October 1960 with a nitroglycerin tablet under his tongue, finishing a remarkable fifth. This could have been the end of the story, but for Shelby, it was just the beginning of a new chapter in a new role as a builder. Retired from racing, Shelby had a new vision: to create an all-purpose, all-American sports or grand touring car that you could drive to market and also race during the weekend. His starting point was the lightweight chassis of the British AC Ace. Shelby recognized its potential, especially after its original engine supplier Bristol ceased production. He then worked a deal with Ford to provide their new lightweight V8 engines. In March 1962, the new car was born. The result was the iconic AC Cobra. The very first prototype chassis, CSX 2000, was a raw, visceral machine fitted with Ford's 260 cubic inch V8. But Shelby's relentless pursuit of power led him to quickly upgrade the engine to the more potent 289 cubic inch V8, which became the heart of the first-generation Cobras. These cars were an absolute monster on the track, and they quickly became a legend on the street. The Cobra's racing success didn't stop at the Roadster. Shelby recognized that the open-top car's aerodynamics were a handicap on high-speed tracks, particularly against Ferrari's purpose-built racers. He commissioned designer Pete Brock to create a sleek, fastback version, which became the Shelby Daytona Coupe. This car, of which only 6 were ever built, was a game-changer. It secured the 1965 FIA GT World Championship, making Shelby American the first and only American manufacturer to ever win an international GT title. Following this, Shelby set out to create the ultimate road-going version, fitting the Cobra with a massive 427 cubic inch Ford Big Block V8 and a completely redesigned chassis. The 427 Cobra was born, a car with blistering acceleration that became an instant legend. It was the perfect blend of British engineering and unadulterated American muscle, and it put Shelby American firmly on the map. Shelby's relationship with Ford was long and often dramatic, but it produced some of the most important cars in history. The partnership was cemented by a legendary rivalry: Ford's failed attempt to purchase Ferrari in the early 1960s. Enraged, Henry Ford II vowed to beat Enzo Ferrari at his own game, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. To accomplish this, he hired the one man who had already beaten Ferrari there, Carroll Shelby. Shelby's team was tasked with turning the ill-fated GT40 program into a winner. He and his crew, led by driver Ken Miles, revamped the car, swapping its smaller engine for the thunderous 427 cubic inch V8. The result was the Ford GT40 Mark II, which went on to defeat Ferrari and win the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966 in a dominant 1-2-3 finish. It remains the only American-built car to ever win the race, a feat that Shelby and his team repeated for 4 years in a row, from 1966 to 1969. Shelby's collaboration with Ford also resulted in high-performance versions of the Mustang, creating two distinct legacies. The Shelby GT350 was born from a need for a road-legal race car to compete in the SCCAB production class. It was a no-nonsense track-focused machine with a high-revving 289 cubic inch V8. In contrast, the Shelby GT500 was a brute of a muscle car designed for the street, equipped with a larger, more powerful 428 cubic inch big block V8. These two cars defined the Mustang's performance image for decades to come. Carroll Shelby wasn't just a driver or a designer. He was an innovator, a risk-taker, and an entrepreneur who left an indelible mark on the automotive world. After his initial partnership with Ford ended, he continued to consult on performance projects and later collaborated with Ford again, most notably on the 2007 Ford Shelby GT500 and the subsequent high-performance Mustang models. His legacy is a testament to the fact that passion, drive, and a little bit of Texas grit can create an American legend. That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time at the DriveContact podcast, and don't forget that you can check out a full article about Carroll Shelby's legend on our website,